If you've been wondering about taking herbal antibiotics and can they treat your SIBO or not, this video is for you. I am Sylvie McCracken from HollywoodHomestead.com and the author of The SIBO Solution. And herbal antibiotics is one of the many things that I did to treat my SIBO. So I've written an entire ebook on SIBO because it became a huge part of my life. When I first started treating SIBO, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just taking what the doctors were telling me at face value and doing as I was told. That landed me through several rounds of traditional antibiotics, rifaximin and whatnot. And while those can be really effective at treating some people's SIBO cases, by the time I really started researching and rolling up my sleeves and diving into the SIBO research, one of my doctors told me, well, of course the traditional antibiotics didn't work. With those levels of methane, it would have taken you at least 4 courses of antibiotics to even make a dent in it. So it was like, well, duh. So herbal antibiotics is one of the many things that I did. If I had to go back and do it all over again, what I would probably do is try herbal antibiotics before the traditional antibiotics for a couple of reasons. Now, here's the thing. I've written on both topics, so if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put the links below, or you might be on my blog post already about herbal antibiotics. I am not knocking rifaximin entirely or knocking traditional antibiotics at all. They have a time and a place, and for many people, especially if your insurance covers the traditional antibiotics and your doctor is recommending it because of your particular lab test and your particular case of SIBO, go for it. It does have efficacy. It has worked for many people. That said, I think that herbal antibiotics could be a really good alternative because, well, they don't cause antibiotic resistance. They don't have some of the side effects of antibiotics. I mean, here is the crazy thing with SIBO is that one of the causes of SIBO is too much antibiotic use. But then we take antibiotics to cure SIBO? So it's a little bit confusing, right? And look, SIBO is such a conundrum. Like, it's hard to understand it entirely, but herbal antibiotics could be a really good solution for you. Now, it can start to get pricey. You know, some of the recommended treatments they can be a little pricey. Like there's Alimed, which is allicin, and that's an expensive one. I'll put the link to that below. The truth is I've had to change that link like 3 or 4 times because I keep finding a better price for it elsewhere. So I continually change that to try to get you to the best possible source. Then there's berberine, there's neem, etc. So obviously this can start to add up, although for those of us like me at the time who did not have insurance, it's kind of a wash because those antibiotics that I was paying out of pocket for were pretty expensive as well. Now, I also did herbal antibiotics in combination with an elemental diet, and that is a whole other topic, and you can read that blog post that I wrote about that as well, and the video that I did about that one as well. And that was really the double whammy, right? Because the elemental diet is starving the bugs, and then the herbal antibiotics are killing the bugs. So it was like a war zone in there. But I just wanted to share this with you because I get a lot of questions about it, and I wanted to kind of share my recommendations on that. I do think herbal antibiotics are a really good solution for most people, depending on what your particular case is. And of course, I always recommend that you work with a doctor to give you individual recommendations to your particular case. So I will put all the links to those below. And in the meantime, if you haven't already gotten a copy of my ebook, The SIBO Solution, I highly recommend it. It is not meant to replace your doctor, but it is meant to help you work alongside with your doctor to understand this condition inside and out, which I certainly didn't when I got started. And that delayed my treatment by at least a year and several $100s that I probably didn't need to spend. So I hope you start feeling better really, really soon. And if you have any comments for me, please leave them below, and I will see you next time.